Please help me welcome none other than Dr. Julius Kipng'etich.
Okay, thank you very much, Joram. And how many Isaacas are in this room? Okay, that's nice. I mean, Joram, at least you have attracted fellow Isaacas, and I'm glad they're running SMEs. I'm very excited to be here because we are here in a big baraza. And I'm sure most of you, those who are born in a village, one of the things your parents used to look forward to is going for a baraza. And the baraza was held by the chief. And the chief had a roster to check who attended the baraza and what lessons were learned. And that now became a vehicle for governments and many other actors to channel information to the village. So we are here today in the big baraza to channel some ideas to the community. And I hope you pick something that is useful and lessons learned. And probably in the next baraza, we'll bring you on stage and say, give a testimony. Not those ones of those who are saved. I'm not so sure about those ones. But this one is about those who have learned lessons and what does it mean for you? And then you could inspire another generation. I'm here to just give you a few remarks so that then we set the stage for our baraza today. And I know the theme of the conversation here is opportunity and adversity. Most of you have gone through COVID. We have a global crisis going on, already underway. And we don't know how things will pan out. Look at somebody who was in tourism industry, say, 2 years ago, and then COVID happened. And then even this hotel, most of them had to close down for some period of time, and we are here. It speaks to resilience. Some didn't survive. If you look at the Intercontinental, it's still closed. I think the partnership between the owners and Intercontinental ended. The Hilton is about to close in city center. So many things have happened. But you survived. That's why you're here. And we want to say you did a good job. And I want to share some ideas of resilience. Okay, what makes companies go through hard times? Because more hard times are coming. If you look at the Kenya shilling, officially it's at 117, but it's not available. So it means the price is higher because then a secondary market has come up, probably dealing with 120, I don't know, I'm not sure. Those of you who deal with underground markets, I'm sure the risk has been priced appropriately at that level. Okay? Look at oil, for example. I mean, $110 per barrel, probably going higher, depending on how Putin behaves. So we don't know. Then we also have global debt crisis. Many countries have debt to the neck or even higher. They're drowning. And that has implications on domestic markets and global markets too. So many things are happening. Even if you look at a country like America, the rest of the world used to look at it as providing leadership. America no longer provides leadership in the areas we used to know. Now they are providing leadership in shooting people. They shoot people for sport, and politicians say, owning a gun in America is in the Constitution. I think it's the only country on earth where owning a gun is built into the Constitution. So interesting things happening all over the world. But we are here in Africa, very interesting place. Young people, the average age in Africa is 19. In some countries in Europe, Germany, for example, the average age is 50. So look at the difference. So Europe is getting old. Africa is much younger. We have technology here, very exciting. So what does it mean for you as an SME? So there are 5 things then I want to share quickly, so that then next year when we have the Baraza, you will tell us how you applied these 5 things. The first one, if you want to really survive in any crisis, is leadership and governance. Most of you have built your business, that's why you are here. Now, what we need to do is to strengthen your leadership skills. What is leadership? Leadership is about influence. You must influence your ecosystem by providing leadership. Now, the greatest challenge in this part of the world, and that is why sometimes people call us the dark continent or words like those, it is just leadership. We are the richest continent by all means. But until we fix this issue of leadership, both at government level, which provides support services, and at individual private level, so that then you can run your business correctly. I've always said that when the Sustainable Development Goals were discussed, there are 17 of them. One is missing. And the one which is missing is clever government. We need governments which are clever, which are smart. I'm glad you discussed KRA yesterday. Sometimes we may not be doing very smart things. But what we need is very strong leadership on the government side, providing common services, and on the private sector side, so that then the two of them run together and create a progressive society. That's how you build resilience. If you read about countries in the last 50 years that have built resilience, it was mainly clever government and clever private sector working together to drive prosperity. The Singapores of this world, the South Koreas of this world, the Malaysias, all of them was clever government, clever private sector, excellent leadership that then shows incredible progress. Now, you as an SME, it's not just you. Leadership is a system. It's not an individual. Now, you need to also build the governance structures that then provide leadership to the business. And my recommendation to all of you, if you don't already have a board, please have one. My recommendation is at least 3 people. Have a chair, independent chair, 2 other board members, and yourself, because the Baraza, the minds that you're bringing together, is what is going to build resilience. I know some of you are saying, what can somebody else tell me? It's very easy to say that. Probably you have run your business for 20 years, for 10 years, for 5 years, and say, I know everything. Nobody knows everything. So build a board, improve your governance, strengthen your leadership. That's how you build your resilience. The second one is managing people. One of the lessons I learned, I think one of the very first lessons I learned in university, when we were doing economics, we were told development is about people. If you read the Bible, God created the earth for people. Organizations too are about people. Your employees, your customers, your suppliers, it's all a people ecosystem. So your number one skill is how to manage people, the interactions, the psychology of people. If I was ever to go back to university again, the course I will want to do is psychology, to understand people's motives, people's intentions. Why do people do the things they do? It is very important that you understand people. And the first people, as a leader, you must always understand are your employees. If your employees are happy, productive, customers are taken care of automatically. You don't have to worry. You begin with your employees. And if your employees are happy, customers will be happy. If your customers are happy, they bring you business, your shareholders are happy. It's just a simple cycle. So it begins with your employees. So you don't have to hire an HR manager. It might be too costly for you. Joram is here. He's an integrator. Sandbox therefore brings experts which are in a pool, and you hire those services on demand. So therefore, Sandbox gives you a platform of cloud services for HR. That's the whole purpose. So please spend a lot of effort on understanding your employees and managing them well. If you manage your employees, as I said, customers are happy, customers bring more business, shareholders are happy. The other stakeholders are very easy to please when that core ecosystem is happy. So manage people. Development is about people. Country is about people. The only planet in the entire universe that we know of today that has human beings is this one. Let us manage people and we will be very successful. Number 3 is understanding your economic engine. What does an economic engine mean? It is what brings in revenue and what is your cost structure. How is revenue coming in and how are you expending the costs? So that then the balance is your profit. Many SMEs don't understand economic engines. You go to some of them, they have no records. Okay? At the end of the day, you reach home and say, oh, mama nasema hakuna mboga. So what do? You pull your revenue and say, enda nunua mboga. End result, you will not know how much revenue you've made and what are your costs. You need to do basic accounting, very basic accounting of understanding your revenue and your cost structure. One basic thing that accountants will always tell you is revenue must be banked intact. The way you received it, go and bank it. All your dealings must be through your bank account, so that then you can see how you can actually do a trial balance at the end of the day and say, what was my profit? Why KRAs are harsh on some of you is you have no records. Now, the law allows KRA a lot of leeway when they do an assessment. So, if, for example, they assess your business and say, I think you're making 30,000 per day or 100,000 per day as revenue. Then they estimate your cost structure and give you a tax assessment. And then you complain, but the reason is you have no records. And since Kenya government is desperate for tax, they will give you the highest assessment. Record keeping is very important. Earlier on, we were discussing about the importance of data, okay, being data-driven, and I'm sure Joram has told you this a lot. If you understand your data, it will guide your decisions. And the first set of data is your accounts. If you understand your accounts well, you will make good financial decisions. And that is how you build resilience. So record keeping, and then you also need audit. At the end of the day, an audit is good because what does an audit do? It's just a verification process. And that helps you in, if you want a loan, you go to a bank, they need minimum 3 years audited accounts. Do you have it? What does an auditor do? An auditor does not look for faults. It just verifies what has happened in your business. So understanding that economic engine is very important so that then other stakeholders understand your business, they can see your growth potential, they can give you then a loan, leverage, they understand you along the way. Remember, as you grow, other people will be interested in your business. especially when you reach what I would call stage 3, when venture capital funds, people who see your business and they want to buy into it. Okay? So it's not just you and your family, but it reaches a point other people support your business. Usually the first people to support your business are called angel investors, then the venture capital funds, then private equity, and then you do an IPO. So in that order, everything depends on records. If you have no records, nobody knows what happened. So understand your economic engine and play it well. Number 4 is leverage technology. We are in a technology world, and there's so much to be learned. You don't have to know everything. All you need to do is to, again, go to integrators like Sandbox. They will have advisors on how you can leverage, from basic things like social media. How do you publicize yourself? To maintaining records using a computer, simple software that helps you in accounting, managing your people, HR systems. So leverage technology, and it's very cheap now. And because of cloud computing allows you to pay as you go. You pay for services that you have consumed. It's like now we are consuming electricity here. Does Movenpick worry about where the electricity is generated? Whether it's in Olkaria or Masinga Dam, it doesn't worry. It only pays for what it consumes. Similarly, technology has reached that point where there are providers and you only pay what you consume. So think of cloud services. Okay? There's so much software out there that you can leverage, and you can build an incredible business by leveraging on technology. So please, how many of you, for example, have a social media page that helps promote your business? 1, 2, that's good. Okay, how many followers? How many people are following you? How many people are following you? 1,000, 10,000. Okay? What are you giving those 10,000 every day? What are you feeding them with about your business, what you are doing, your success? How many are you reading their comments, their feedback, so that then you keep adjusting to what the customers want? Leverage technology. And the final one is build your brand and image consistently. Brand is a perception. It is how you perceive. Now, who gives that perception? It's the customers. The primary drivers of perception are your customers. What do they think about you and your business? Okay? Now, don't confuse brand and plumage. You can Google what plumage is. Plumage basically are appearances, okay, and reality. When you talk about building a brand, the brand, that perception and reality must be very close together. Very, very close. So that then, when you build that image consistently about who you are, then the market then forgives you when you slip, when you fall. If you look at companies that survived COVID, it's those which had very strong brands. Customers kept coming even when at the height of full COVID, some will say, tutakufa na wewe. It is very important that you build a very, very strong brand. And it's not just about the big boys. I know some of you will say, oh, I'm not an Apple, or I'm not a Coke. Remember, those companies that you think are big started small. Coke, for example, in the first year of operation, sold 25 bottles only. Today, it serves people globally, I think 1.9 billion servings daily. But it started off by selling 25 bottles per year. everybody starts small. Today, you could be sitting here doing sales of 100,000 per day. In 5 years' time, you could be doing 10 million per day or $1 billion per day. You never know what you're selling. Some of you will do global operations in time to come. And why not? So what we're saying is start building a very strong brand and grow with it. Be consistent. Be true to your customers. Then potential customers also come on board. The greatest marketers of a business are existing customers. The best marketing is word of mouth by existing customers. It doesn't matter how you advertise on TV, on radio, or whatever. If your existing customers are unhappy, the impact will be minimal. So the greatest selling is done by your existing customers. And that's how you build a very strong brand of resilience. So those are the 5 things that I want you to discuss, to reflect on today in our Baraza. And I'll just repeat them quickly for the sake of emphasis. Leadership and governance, managing your people, doesn't matter who they are, understanding your economic engine and record keeping, leveraging technology in everything you do, and then you build a very strong brand and image that will take you for generations. Thank you very much. Asante sana.